Okie dokie. Good morning. How are people doing, huh? Let me. It is a little bit delayed. Test. Test. Okay. Doesn't seem to be too bad. Let me. Turn off that monitor, turn on this monitor. Testing. Testing 1, 2, 3. Hi, Logan, how you doing? Your kids woke you up? So, I think that I should be able to handle this. Hi, Tinguish. Yeah. So I am going to be monitoring myself. I don't think I have a solution to my lag problem. It does seem like it's building up a little bit, so let's reset. Test it, test it, test it. Okay, that's not bad. So I'm going to be monitoring myself through OBS because it seems like the problem is the combination of my interface and OBS when I'm streaming. And so I don't know what the deal is with that, but we are going to not worry too much about that. I am getting all my stuff ready. Basically, if it gets bad enough, if the lag gets bad enough that I really have significant speech blocking, then it's probably bad enough that it's bothering you guys too. So that's going to be my measurement. Is I'm going to listen to myself, and if it's too delayed for me, then it's probably too delayed for you. Yeah. Anyway, we're back on Draw Steel. I just went and I did a poll last week, and I gave you guys a choice between. I gave patrons a choice between Draw Steel. Thanks, Tinguish, for the feedback. And hello, Aaron. I just did a poll, and it was exactly 50-50 for the people who voted. Draw Steel or Daggerheart. So I decided I'm going to go back and do more Draw Steel ones because that was super fun last week, and I like the format of the Draw Steel stuff. And also, another thing about it is the Draw Steel license is super clear, and I'm not so sure about the Daggerheart license for third-party stuff. Hi, Madeline. Good morning. Okay, we've got a whole crew here. Let's go. Let's say, yes, Draw Steel. Let's open up. We're doing more incantations. So I want to do another Draw Steel one. I might actually do Daggerheart next week because things are getting stretched out. This is one of my things. Is I plan something special in between or around other special events, and then yes, I know it's not morning for everyone, Aaron. It's funny. I've got chat here and I've got chat here. Oh, you had to wake up at 6 a.m. Yeah, um, you do not enjoy waking up at 6 a.m. Well, I often have to wake up at 6 a.m. That's that's just life sometimes when you have kids. Now, I was looking at these a little bit and I was thinking about I'm not super happy with these because I feel they're too generic. I was going off of I'll tell you what I was going off of. For D&D for the spell shield, which is a similar thing where you did like somebody's about to hit you, you got to cast this spell right now. I did a thing where I had I just did 3 syllables chakide, which means don't hit me, right? And that works really well for shield, whereas it's like this generic force field that you generate and stuff. But like there's more flavor to what's going on with explosive assistance and skin like castle walls, right? It's not just a force field. It's explosive assistance is so somebody pushes an enemy and to help them along you cause an explosion. Let me pull up the thing. You add a little magic to an ally's aggression at just the right time. Um, it's a, so it's a little vague on what exactly is happening, but it is a fire spell, and so like the idea that I push you is the spell is a little bit weak to me. Let me see. Do I have a word for explosion? Fache. Oh no, that's for disintegrate. I don't have a word for explosion or blast. Oh, bunde. How have I used that? I'm gonna check how this is used. Bunde. So it's probably somewhere in these. Um, next. So it's not in. What am I? What is that? Oh, okay. Oh my god, that's... Maybe I want to change that. Maybe... I'm very into doing sentences, but maybe we do a noun phrase here? So... So... We got push. Ida. Ida. Ida abunde. Ida abunde. So... Might be a little bit too much. So I'll think about that. The one thing I definitely want to change is this gabafete, gabafete, right? I cover you. It's like epindis gabafete works well, but it's just kind of a mouthful to get out in like the instant before somebody gets hit, right? However, I thought if we make this third person and put this in ergative, don't ergative, because there are no restrictions on animacy for ergativity in Ndăkaga, so we can do this. Epidi abafete. Epidi abafete. You can do that quick. You can say that quick. Epidi abafete. So, ga. D. Like, I need to use the grave accent. Oh no, is this doing a weird thing? It changed the font. I want... Where's my font? Yeah. Epidi abafete. It's funny how quickly you learn to read your own writing systems. It abunde. I don't think that's. Oh, wait a minute. I have an idea. So, bunde. What's the verb form of that? There's no. I don't have. I don't do this very often. Thinking about making a verb, but actually, so we could do a similar thing here. I don't like that either. I think we're going to make this a verb. Oh, I got it. So we can actually get something really good. Okay, so what I've done is this is also a transitive verb. So I explain. I actually let's make it an intransitive verb, and we make a new one. Yin bunde. This is so gin is a causative. And then we got bunde. This will all make sense in a second here. How do I do that? Okay. And then so gu ku. Gekubundete. Gekubundete. And let me just double check that. Right. K is the itive. So what is this? What am I doing? Okay. If it's been a while, you don't remember, or if you are new to my Draconic language. So this is first person. The G is first person. The Q is the itive directional. I'm not too far off. So normally this would mean, so without this gebundete, it would be like I explode you. But the itive is a directional. Now often, so it's both a directional and an associated motion. So it could mean I go away from here and I blast you, right? However, in this situation, like in this context, we're using it as a directional, and it means I blast you away. Now, usually that's centered on the speaker, so it wouldn't necessarily work if you blast things toward yourself, but I think that elementalists are usually not going to blast anything toward themselves. They're going to blast things in a direction that's away from them somewhere, so itive works. If you really, really wanted it, you could replace this with pim. But that's one word. It's a lot of syllables. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. However, the way that Ndăkaga works, it's going to be spoken fairly fast. Not too bad. Okay. Okay. Good time zone. Is that a new greeting, Logan? Good time zone? So this is something like okay, I'm happier with these now. These I think this works. And this means there's you. The hardest part is that wait, heroes. I need my heroes book back up. Is that MCDM gives these abilities such good names that I'm kind of not sure if I want to do the. Now here's the reason that I wanted to change things, because we got this one. And can I? Okay, I can make that back. Subtle relocation. Magic, ranged, void, triggered. So this void, a lot of your, for elementalists, a lot of the, the spells that involve teleportation are void tag. Let me just check this. Testing. Yeah, okay. Stole it from the extra credits, guys. I don't think they'll mind. By the way, I just want to ask quickly. I have set up my chat on a teleprompter so that when I read the chat, I'm looking at you guys. Is that weird or is that good? I just want to know what you guys feel about that. A lot of streamers do that. I think they feel like it's builds connection to do more eye contact that way, but also I know that a lot of people who watch me are autistic, so it might not be as fun. So anyway, let's look at this spell. Subtle relocation. You call on the void to swallow and spit out an ally. So triggered target starts their turn, moves, or is force moved. Starts their turn. Okay. You like it? Okay. You teleport the target up to a number of squares equal to your reason score. If the target moves to trigger this ability, you can teleport them at any point during the move. So you teleport the target to a number of squares equal to twice your reason score. So just to have a compare, explosive assistance is somebody knocks someone back and you do a little explosion to help knock them further. Okay. Yes, there's nobody forcing you to look at me. That's right, Logan. Okay. You teleport. So this one is somebody else does something to force someone to move. Someone else is pushing somebody else, and then you do a little explosion, help it along, right? This is somebody's moving on the battlefield for whatever reason, and you're just like, nope, you're there now. In fact, that might be... Okay. Okay. So let me take a look. Let me pull up leveled spell incantations. Grab this first. What level is Misty Step? I think it's just like first or second level. There we go. So I did this. Let me do web format so you don't have that ugly. Well, if I can find the web format. Oh, this is a PDF. That's why I can't. Okay, so why can't I? Okay. Let me try to find the Word document so it'll be easier to see. Yeah, so for Misty Step, I did a thing. I made it Jai Gedicha, right? Which means I am over there. And I don't know if I want to steal language often with these, but this feels it feels like doing the same type of thing you go Jai Tiricha, right? Again, I generally assume that elementalists don't want to bring creatures to them because they're caster types. They probably want to stay at range. And if I can... So... So the breakdown on this is, it is yonder to stand and perfective, which the perfective here is marking a change of state. Second person Misty Step. Exactly. This is like second person Misty Step. But what we're saying is you are over there. I feel like I like that. So I feel like this is a great like power move. First of all, it's very short, which is you need this because it's a triggered action. Yeah. It's not exactly banishment. I don't know if you have a banishment in Jaw Steel. Their spells are much more focused on like being in the thick of combat and not like getting rid of problems. But I'd have to take a look. But yeah, isn't that a power move though? Right? It fits the theming of most of my spells where I have these I call them magical performatives, where whereas a regular performative is a thing that happens because you say it, like I now pronounce you man and wife, right? The act of saying that causes it to happen, right? But magic can cause that to happen even with like concrete physical things in the world rather than just social things, right? So the example I always bring up is Gandalf says to Sauron, "Your staff is broken," in the Lord of the Rings, and immediately Sauron's staff breaks asunder because Gandalf said that. I'm getting laggy. Okay, I think we're good. If you didn't say it, you didn't do it. So it fits that, but it's also just sort of a power move. Like you think about in game, an enemy starts to move. They're moving somewhere, and you say, "No, you're there now," and they teleport to that location. I really like it this way. Okay. So that is, and I believe that the way that the rules are written, you cannot have this and this. You have to they come with your specialization. So if you're a void mage, you get the subtle relocation. If you're a fire mage, you get the explosives assistance, which is also cool. It's like you get two different flavors of a similar power. So let's see. Going down the elementalist stuff. So they have The enchantments and wards are persistent abilities, so we don't need to worry about that. So now we're going to go to the signature abilities. And this is you choose two of those. We're still on first level, by the way. So let's just go here. Okay. Afflict a bountiful decay. Sometimes I feel like I should just like translate the title of the thing, but it doesn't necessarily fit my style here. Let me copy paste the entire thing. So, your curse causes your foe's flesh to rot off as spores that aid your allies. So this is both green and rot. So this is an interesting thing. So things can be multiple things. It's a power roll. So this is some amount. So just to make it clear what's going on here, this is you're rolling 2d10 and depending on what you roll, it's 2, 4, or 6 corruption damage plus your reason score. You choose yourself or one ally within distance. That character can end one effect on them that is ended by a saving throw or that ends at the end of their turn. Okay. So, okay. So let's focus on what exactly is going on. So this is within 10 squares. Okay. So the way I understand this from what is given here, your curse causes your foe's flesh to rot off as spores that aid your allies. What I am imagining happening here is that you have summoned, or maybe it's already there and you accelerate its growth, but somehow you have activated a fast growing fungus on your enemy that quickly like consumes a part of their flesh and then explodes into spores that can reach an ally or yourself in order to have a positive effect. right? That character can end one effect on them that is ended by a saving throw or that ends at the end of their turn. So, how to do this? This kind of thing. I'm going to come up with an Ndăkaga incantation for this. However, this actually feeds into something I've been thinking about, is that green and rot elementalists in my world might more likely use Sylvan because of like the thematic nature of these like green and rot spells, because this is a theme that I'm doing with Sylvan is that decay is not necessarily negative. There is a noun class for decomposers, but there's not a hierarchy that puts them lower than predators and prey, right? Um, so So what we want to do. So I'm thinking about how to phrase this. Something about, I don't know if I want to be super explicit on this. I don't have a word for fungus. Mushroom? No. I have a word for rot. Ugus. 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 No. Why did I... Okay, rot. What is the word? I used it just now. Ogre. Ogre. Okay. Ogre. Ogre. I'm... So... E.T. Yeah, we want to keep this indicative. So... let me break this down. So, you rot from that. This is because it's a posted position. This other person heals. They heal from your rot. Okay, it's singular. This is not plural. This is singular. And here, Tugriaguti is for the one where you choose yourself as that target. So it's your rot from heal. Subordination is very simple in Ndăkaga. You just stick a sentence in there, however it would go, right? So it's right. So I heal from your rotting. It's exactly what the spell does, right? You cause a decay in someone, and then you heal from it. Again, I will probably come back and do at least like green spells in Sylvan as well, because I think that like the green and rot elementalists would speak Sylvan rather than Ndăkaga, but that's fine. So here we go. Bifurcated incineration. 2 jets of flame lance out at your command. Range 10. 2 creatures or objects. Power roll plus reason. And again, it's 2, 4, or 6 fire damage. So this is pretty straightforward. Jets of flame, specifically. So I think I have a ray. Ika, line. Yeah, Lika means line or ray. We can also say jet. Not just epita ika u. And then we need shoot, which is ape gap. Okay. Get the oh. Please don't change my font the instant you have something that doesn't fit. Can you stay in the font? Ka ga ping ge. So this is fire of ray plural. Now it should not be. Let me double check. That's nominative. It should be e. E. Okay. Ipi da ika e gapinge, which is one spit. The core meaning of this word is spit, but it also basically means shoot as well. Due to associated with breath weapons. So, and then 3 plural. So, I shoot rays of fire. Very on the nose, but like that's my style for Ndăkaga. Is a lot of stuff is very on the nose because of the way that I prefer. I feel dragons prefer direct communication and direct exercises of power, and I feel like the people who use Ndăkaga will also want that. Getting a little bit more lag. Okay. Now. Okay. We're only an hour in. We've gotten a lot of progress. Because I just like jumped in. Right? So there are a lot of these signature abilities. Grasp of Beyond. So you absorb the life energy of another creature and use it to teleport. So it's not, you don't just teleport, right? You hurt somebody and then you teleport. And this is a void. This is corruption damage, but I think so this is sometimes corruption damage is like decay, right? I think in this case, corruption damage is just like part of the body dying, sort of necrotic, just necrosis. You can teleport up to a number of squares equal to your reason score, and so the thing we need to capture the thing that we need to think about is you are siphoning life out of someone and then immediately you teleport. I have an idea. My thought is somehow thinking of now teleportation in my milieu is about moving yourself through the dream. Insrafif, Fefe Aif, the Insrafif, the dream of the world. You move yourself through the dream of the world. So I'm thinking about something about grabbing onto your life to pull yourself through the dream. Do I have a word for pull? I do not have a word for to pull. That seems like a very that seems very egregious mistake on my part. I gotta fix that right now. So, everybody, welcome to Lexifer. This is the Draconic one. So let's just get 10 words. Go. And we're going to go to Lexergy. We're going to go to the Ndăkaga. Oh. Did I copy the wrong thing? Oh, import. There. Ndăkaga Lexifer. No. Import. Ndăkaga. Because I'm on Lexergy, not Lexifer. Okay. So we've got adi, atre, angu, apu, abif, abif, infi, uda. I think is going to be. I'm thinking Ange Apu Apif. I think it's going to be between 3 of these. So I'm going to our word for poll. And we're gonna export. Let's go with, I think I have an ID in there that's going to be confusing. I don't have ID? Okay, if I don't have an ID, let's go ID atre ange and abif apu or abif. For some reason I want to put abif and apu. And this is going to be, let's do a ranking poll. Let's give you guys until 9:10. Okay. Okay. And I will watch the results on that. All right. Go rank those in order of how you like them. I will continue working on, so it would be Tada Menge U. Menge U. And it would be I poll. I pull myself. So it's just the reflexives are just straight up subject and object are the same. Dis. Instrafega. Yeah. I don't think life is the right word here. I'm going to go soul. Yes. Mpe. So the mpe means soul or spirit. Also, it means breath. But tada mpe dis instraf ega. Whatever, pull. So we need an idiv. We need to have an idiv. We need to have, we need some kind of directional, which the default is just going to be the idiv, because it means away. Okay. Let me check on, we got 2 minutes left for you to get votes in. Be quick. Meanwhile, I'll just be looking ahead. Yeah. I think we have a clear winner. Unless somebody fixes it in the last few seconds. Okay. Voting closed ago. But we have atre. Atre people have fallen for have decided on atre. So that's what we're going to do. We make a new note, new word. Atre. With the right keyboard. And this comes from and what is the source? Just atre. Which, frankly, the pronunciation has not changed. Sometimes that happens. And this is verb. This has to be a transitive verb. To pull. Just pull. So it would be gatre. Gatrede. Ga. No, we need the itive in there. So we need ga, ka. Gakatrede. Tadam pendis insraf if. It needs to be the dream. Okay. Tadam pendis insraf if ega gakatrede. And we'll do it in the native writing system. Tada pe dis in sraf if ega ga. Oh, it would be ga ka. Ga ka. Ga kadrede. Ga kadrede. Ga kadrede. That's how this would be. Ga ka tre de. Tada impedis insraf if ega ga kadrede. And then, like, just you're gone, and somebody's arm fell off, something like that. It's not like that exactly, just because the game doesn't do that kind of injuries, but you get the idea. Okay, so I think we can get a couple. I'm hoping that we will get to one of my favorite ones. I'm going to keep an eye on the times. We might want to skip over. But let's go. So, the green within, the green without. There's a green. Whipping vines erupt from a foe's body to grasp at another close by. Okay, so there's a power roll. You get just straight up damage, but the effect is you slide one creature within 2 squares of the target up to 2 squares. But we really want to focus on this flavor text in this case because that tells us exactly what's happening in this one. So it is this one's actually going to be a hard one. How to describe this in a succinct way? I think I need a lot of words. Right? So, vine? I don't have a word for a vine. I don't have a generic word for plant, and I'm not going to make a generic word for plant in this case because that's not what we're talking about. Okay, I'm getting ideas. I'm getting an idea. Okay? This is very cool, and I really want to give it justice. Okay, so your body. Wrath. I have anger. Yeah. Fuck again. No. Epifagi is our usual word for anger. However, I don't think that it's too close. It's too related to fire. I don't have a word for savage. Wild. No, that's because Feywild is in it. Reach. Umu. Umu. Yes. Okay. And then feed. Okay. So vine. Let's go. Let's come up with a word for vine. Eat. Jid. Jid. Actually, go. Acha. Acha. I like acha or acha. I like a cha or a ja. Achit. Ajid. Ajid. Okay, I'm just gonna take that one. So Ajid. Ajid. Achit. Okay, yeah. Atyet. Okay. Achet. I'm using my phone. My phone is my camera. Vine. Maybe it's a specific kind of vine, but right now we're just going to say it's vine. Ajit. And then feed. So eat. Chitta. So I think that ig. Yes. So allowed to be, allow to, cause to. There we go. Igchita. Ig should be ig. So igchita is from this ig suffix, which comes from the word for to give. And then chitta means to eat. And this should be aspirated as well. Chit. Verb transitive to feed. Feed. So there we go. So, and then we need to actually so we also need body. Ta da a Ta da a And then what was vine? Vine is ajit. Ta da a di. Ajit. Ajit be. Right? Should be ajit be. T. Tig chit. Tig ch. Tig. Chit. Yeah. Ta da aumdi. Umu ajit be tit chitunge. Which means, so, you have body ergative. Reach. Active participle. Vine. Accusative. 2, because since it's a part of your body, then that is still attached to you, then it's still second person agreement. And then feed 3 plural. So your body feeds reaching vines. This should be ajed ae. That's right. Okay. Ajed ae. I can quickly get this. Ta-ta. And this is going to mess up on me. Yes, it is. Chitange. Okay. Let's see, how much time we got? We got 30. Okay. I'm just trying to make sure. Yeah, we can do this one. This one should be fairly quick. It's a little bit vague on specifics of what are happening, but you give your enemy a gentle tap, like an asteroid impact. Earth, magic, melee, main strike action. So, strike main action. So this is a melee action. So initially, I was actually thinking that this was like hurling a rock at somebody, but actually, this is melee. So I think this is actually literally you put the power of the earth into a punch. I have strike. I have hit and strike. Actually, that's literally what I'm going to do. So strike. Yeah. Earth. Yeah. That's literally what I'm going. Abip. Abip da Enghad dis Gukute. So, Earth of Power. I want strength. Shaki. Yeah, I want actually Shahibi. Shahibi is more physical power. Enkhad is tends to be more extract. So strength with it's instrumental with 1 strike 2. Okay. And please let me just Abip da Shahibi dis G Q T. Okay. I strike you with the strength of the earth. Okay. And we've got to my favorite name out of these. There's more. There's more abilities. There's more abilities. The signature abilities. There's like 2 more after this, but I had to make sure I had to get to this one because look at the name of this ability. Ray of Agonizing Self-Reflection. Make sure. I was starting to lag a little bit too much. Ray of Agonizing Self-Reflection. You inflict pain and doubt in equal measure. Now, I want to know, what is this? So, there's corruption damage. It is a void thing. It's like so you're slowed. I want to just double check. What is this R weak? It's probably in the abilities. I want to check what does that actually. Yeah. I think it just has to do with this reason weak, reason average, reason strong. I think it just has to do with what their reason score is. Okay. Oh, okay. Here we go. Potencies. Oh, so this is relative to your own reason score. Actually relative to your highest score, which is probably going to be reason. Yeah. Okay. So what happens is like depending on what your own score is, this is like if they minus have two less than you, one less than you, or if they're just equal to you. Okay. Anyway, so the idea here, I don't know if I don't necessarily say this is going to be a literal ray because people might want to play it different ways. So I'm thinking that the ray of agonizing self-reflection, the main part of it is somehow this is reaching into your mind and bringing up like doubts about yourself that are so painful that it hurts you. In D&D this would be a bard ability, most definitely. Um but their equivalent to a bard is a very very different thing that I probably won't do incantations for because of the nature of what they do. Um I'm thinking about it. If the people watching have ideas, I think We need a command. We need a command. And it needs to be think about your life. Action. Idę by to faju czakit. Yes. Thing. Idę by to faju bycia kit kafada. Kafada. Thing. Deserve to make why am I putting the gloss above? Getcha, yeah. Hello, Lanchan. Thank you for the follow. Force someone to see themselves from an actually I'm going to change this. because that gives me a better idea. I was originally going to say, think about the things you've done, right? However, if we say, see the things you have done, you can have the idea that you are connecting to them telepathically and showing them mistakes that they have made, showing them images of mistakes that they've made. Goodness, wow. Okay, so let's get this all sorted out. IDP tafai. So this is a strong word. Fa yunge yunge cha agukichi. IDP tafa yungecha agukichi. It's literally see you making things, right? But it more like idiomatically it would be like see the things you have done / made. See the things you have done. Yeah. IDP tafa yungecha agukichi. Okay, so that will be for Ray of Agonizing Self-Reflection. And we are at 9:50. Let me see. Let me throw the second one up here. Throw the next one up here. Let's see if we can get one last one. So, Unquiet Ground. This is an Earth. A sudden storm of detritus assaults your foes and leaves them struggling to move. Okay. It's a 2. So it's a cube that's 2 squares on a side. And then the ground beneath the area is difficult terrain for enemies. So this is not an earthquake. Right? So I'm actually going to the Abip. No. Let's rock. So epin no. Pebble. Ancre. Seed. No, I think it's more. It's yeah, the Abip. and then fall. String. String. It's going to be a little bit of a tongue twister. So let's break that down for you guys. So stone, plural, and. This is the comitative, but it also means and. Earth. 3 plural, fall. And earth. Fall. Let's I was going to say fall on you, but actually let's not complicate it with pronouns, because then I need extra variance, and I don't think I need that for here. So, and then we'll get the epigengid script. Ngade abep no, I do it this way. Ginsrik. Ngade abep ginsrik. Ginsrig. And okay, we got 5 minutes, but I don't know. We've gotten through almost all of these signature abilities. There is just one for the Elementalist here. Viscous fire. A jet of heavy fire erupts where you strike. Ranged 10. 1 creature or object. So, again, they've used some language that is making me think that the language that they're using is making me think that this this is ranged. You are like throwing something. But what happens is you strike a creature, and then the fiery projectile you are using explodes into a jet of fire that acts like a rocket, if you understand what I mean. And that's where the push is coming from. It acts like a rocket and pushes them away. I'm noticing there are a lot of abilities in Draw Steel that have to do with like positioning your enemies around, like moving them around. So so how do I describe that? How do I say like I push you with fire? Sounds kind of lame. It sounds lame if you say it in English. Fire. Fire will move you. Fire moves you. Yeah. Actually, so let's see. I have burn. But is not burn. Okay, yeah. Hack. I think I'm going to use the same trick of throwing a directional on here. And it's G. No, it's G. Right. It should be this. This is a weak word. This is a soft word, right? This is a soft word. G. G. K. H. T. Is it transitive? No, it's intransitive. Okay, gin hag. That weakens the. Oh, no. But that actually makes it even better. So Kaka hag. Kakahag. So what I'm doing here, this is the imperative prefix. And then we have itive. And we have burn. Burn. While going that way. You can't properly translate this into English because we don't have the tools to do it well. But trust me, in Ndăkaga, this is badass. Okay. Kakahag. 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 Okay. And so we are done. thank you for everybody who watched, whether you're still on the stream or you pick it up later. But that, I think we will leave it there for Draw Steel. I will continue working on more abilities, but that is all of the that is all of the signature abilities. There are still, for the Elementalist, there are still some other first level abilities, the ones that cost essence. But that will have to wait for another time. But anyway, thank you for watching. Next week, I'm going to do Daggerheart. And coming up, we have something very special coming out. It's gonna be super fun. So, yeah. So, thank you for watching. I've been George Corley. Thank you for coming to my stream. Next week, I'm going to do some incantations for Daggerheart, and then I have a special event the following week if everything goes to plan. And then after that, we're going to come back to Sylvan. I do have an idea. If you're on Patreon, or if you want to join the Patreon, watch out for a poll, because I'm going to do a big poll that's going to affect the future of what happens for Sylvan. I haven't written it up yet, but I should get it like tonight or early next week. We'll see how quickly I can get it done. But